Hello, everybody. It's Teacher Amelia, and I am so excited to bring you the next installment of the Prop Report. I have been waiting on this time of year to do this particular prop report and use this particular reward. I used my 6 Apple card, which you can get through VIP Kid, and it costs $10 to get it printed and shipped, but it gets you teacher discounts at many, many places. And one of the places that it got me a teacher discount was Barnes& and Noble. And so I was able to get a Barnes& and Noble educator card with my 5 Apple card. I happened to see the Crocodile Creek Make a Monster or Make a Critter blocks, and I picked them up. They were on clearance there, but you can actually get them today on Amazon, and you literally can build a monster. And I don't even know, somebody better than math than I am will have to decide how many different combinations there are. Does it say on the box? No. I bet I could find it somewhere online. But basically, each monster comes in a set of 3 blocks. And of course, each block has 6 different sides on it, each with a different part of the monster. And so you've got heads, bodies, and then legs. And so with it being Halloween, I've been waiting to use these. And even though I normally use digital props, every once in a while I like to throw in actual 2D or in this case 3D props because I think it's very different and very unique. And my kids and I today had so much fun with this. And so the way that I used these was I would start with the head, and I would introduce it by saying, when you do a good job, you get a monster. And then when it was time to award their first star or their first reward, I would say, you get a head. Do you want red, orange, purple, or yellow? And usually I didn't use the other ones on the other side because then I got it all confused and had to flip it and it got very confusing. So unless the students, after the first time or two, they got into the swing of things and they'd say, no, no, no. And if they said no on all of them, I might flip to the other ones and see if they like those better. But I picked this first set of blocks because the colors are all pretty distinctive. So, they could choose to make a red monster, for example, or an orange monster, or a purple monster. So you get the idea. And that's what I started with. And my first student, we didn't have a lot of extra time, so we just did one monster, so 3 different turns, and then plus I gave him 2 extra stars. So I gave him a star each time we did a monster piece and then 2 extra ones. But my other 2, we had a little bit more time in class, and so then I pulled out the second monster, which was actually, it's a little more complex. They're still, they still have a primary color, but like that's teal. I guess I could have said blue, but then how do you differentiate between that blue? So it's not quite as clear cut, but I think the more advanced students you get, you could really extend and increase their vocabulary with some of these things. You've got pirate, or here the monster's eating candy and cookies and things. So you can have some really good dialogue, especially with your older students. If it's too complicated or they don't know their colors or they're struggling, then you can simply go 1, oh see, I did it again, 1, 2, 3, or 4. and let them pick a number. And then on their next turn, I let them pick the body. And this is my only, I'm not even going to call it a complaint because it was fine, but I'm not very coordinated, so it took me a little practice to get it on the camera to where I could show it and spin it so that they could see it together. And see, even now I'm getting it a little bit off. They didn't care. They thought it was hilarious. And then you can do the same thing with the third one. You get legs! Are those legs? It is a fish! And it was funny and cute to decide, to see what kids would choose. Sometimes they wanted everything to be kind of monochromatic. So yellow, yellow with yellow feet. Sometimes they wanted the monsters to be as crazy and mismatched as you could be. And there's a whole third set of blocks in here. And so you could mix and match each one of them if you wanted to. And you could use this over and over. And you could even, draw them out of a hat if you wanted. You could toss them and roll them. You could even put, little stars, stick little stars on some of them and use it as a 3D monster find a star. So we had a ball with these today. And what's even better is, like I said, you can buy the monster ones. I know Halloween's right around the corner, although who doesn't love monsters year round? But they also have some other ones. Let's see if I can see them real quick. I'll put a link to these, and I'll also try to put a picture. There's Make a Zoo blocks that are up. It's a block stacking set, and in the picture they have, you can make a hippo, a crocodile, and a zebra. Or again, you could mix and match and have kids make crazy, funny little animals. There's several build a house or build a castle. And so those would be really fun. And they have other pictures in the windows so that you could extend and talk about colors, animals, the things that you see in the window. There's also a 4-piece block that's Make a Face, where you can make, it looks like a fox, a monkey, a lion, a panda, a bear, and a tiger. And those, instead of stacking vertically, they stack in 4. So I'm not sure, that might be easier or might be harder to kind of coordinate, holding 4 blocks instead of 3. So yeah, there's several different versions out there, and I'm pretty sure that I saw Build a Face, but I don't see it right now. So the availability kind of comes and goes, I think, which items there are. But they are a little on the expensive side. These weren't, because, like I said, I got them on clearance, and so they were less than $10. I think new, these are costing $15 to $20 depending on what you get, and I think you may actually be able to get a combo set. You can I'll look around and see what I can find, and I'll post some affiliate links there. So you win, you don't have to go searching, and I win because I get a few cents if you buy them. So I will include those. But yeah, would I recommend these? Absolutely. I think they were super fun in an online classroom, and again, I love digital props, but sometimes this gives you something physical so that the kids feel like you're playing with them, and it's a little bit different. Would I use these in a homeschool classroom, or if I had small kids at home? Oh, I totally would. I think that you could have just tons of conversation, building things, having kids make different combinations. And if you were in person, I think you could also give, you could give them different tasks, like make a monster who likes sports, and they could find and make, one with a tennis racket. Or you could ask, and you could do this in an online classroom, what is the weather? And you can get them to deduce that it's hot or it's summer because he's not wearing any clothes. And he's eating ice cream. He's eating a popsicle. You could ask which ones live in the water. Make a monster that lives in the water. And so I think that if you were at home with your child or with a student, you could give them different scenarios and have them make different combinations. And the older they are, the more the older they are, the more creative and more complex scenarios you could give them. So I had so much fun with my monster blocks. It was a nice way to kick off the Halloween season in my classroom. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I hope you enjoy. Thanks!